Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Life Recovery Devotional series here on Westboro Church. And today we are doing step 3, day 3 of the Life Recovery Devotional. Today's reading is titled Discovering God, and we're going to be reading out of Acts 17:23 through 28. Step 3, we made a decision to turn our wills and our lives over to the care of God. Before we can turn our lives over to God, we need to have an accurate understanding of who He is. You didn't capitalize He, but that's okay. It's all right. It's crucial that our lives be turned over to the God who loves us and not the God, quotation marks, of this world who seeks only to deceive and destroy. The Apostle Paul described the deceiver this way. Satan, who is the God of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand this message about the glory of Christ, who is the exact likeness of God. 2 Corinthians 4:4. Has Satan deceived us? How can we be sure that we have a true understanding of God? When Paul addressed the men of Athens, he said, I saw your many shrines, and one of your altars had this inscription on it: to an unknown God. This God whom you worship without knowing is the one I'm telling you about. His purpose was for the nations to seek after God and perhaps feel their way toward Him and find Him, though He is not far from any one of us. For in Him we live and move and have and exist. Sorry, live and move and have our being is, I think, King James. Even though God may be unknown to us, He is near and willing to reveal Himself. God has promised, if you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. Jeremiah 29:13. We usually stop at Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you. But if you keep reading, it'll tell you that you actually have a responsibility for those plans. Turning over our will involves becoming willing to accept God as He is, instead of insisting on creating Him in our own image. Oh, there we go. Oh, you can make a whole video on that. You can make a whole video on just that. Instead of insisting on creating Him in our own image. How many charismatic churches out there have redefined who God is and what He does based on what will make us happy here on this earth? Oh, God will supply all my riches and all my need according to His riches and glory. Oh, that means I'll have a house, a mansion, and a nice car, and a beautiful wife, and everything else. No, it means He will supply what I need right here, right now. But because, oh, well, wouldn't God want you to be healthy so that way you can spread the gospel? Not always. Sometimes He uses our illness to spread the gospel further than we could if we were healthy. Because in our illness, we draw on His strength, and so therefore we become even a better witness, because even though we are weak, in Him we are strong. That is a wonderful testimony of the power of Jesus Christ in us, that even while we are deathly ill, we can still draw hope from the one that created us, And so creating Him in our own image is something that we're all at some point going to be guilty of until we understand who He is truly. When we look for God with an open heart and mind, we will find Him. Yes, we will. As we seek God, He makes Himself known to us. He does. We have to seek Him with an open heart and an open mind. We can't just say, oh, I'm looking for this picture of God. Like, all right, have you ever seen the classical, oil paintings of what people thought Jesus looked like for years? Supple, long, straight brown hair, bright blue or brown eyes, a pale complexion, wearing a nice white robe with maybe a red sash over it. Yeah, that isn't exactly Jesus at all. First of all, Jesus did not stick out from the crowd in His own area. And most of the people over in the Middle East at the time and even now have darker complexions because of the nature of the the sunlight and everything else in that area. You don't live in a country with a whole lot of sun and end up lily white like us, like me. You end up lily white when you live in a place like England or Scotland where most of the days are cloudy or rainy, you know? And so, since you don't have to deal with a whole lot of sun, you just go ahead and end up pale as heck. I mean, look at me. Look at me. I'm a perfect example. I go outside without a shirt on. I cause people to go snowblind in the summertime. You can see it's ridiculous. But, if we're looking for God and we're keeping an open mind about who he is and not putting preconceived notions on who we think he should be for us, we will find him. And that's really the biggest thing, is just that. Just that. I'll see you guys again for the next video. I'm going to be hopefully getting through all the first 15 days or so of this and then uploading it for YouTube, because I'm 9 days behind, but I'm going to try and catch up and then get further. God bless, and I'll see you again soon.